Let's get into it here. So we're going to primarily cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shout out to our sponsors, PrimeXBT. You guys have been doing an awesome job using that Prime link. Please keep hammering away at that. Up to a $7,000 deposit bonus with the code MAIN50. You got to use my link, then put in the code on your accounts page, and then when you deposit, you'll be eligible for that bonus. So shout out to the Prime team. Thank you so much. Let's get into it, guys. As for Bitcoin, I already thought price was going to go up. The reason I thought price was going to go up and I was trying to get along was basically we had this very overextended sell-off, right? So we had this huge sell-off from 43K all the way down here, coupled with stocks just nuking, right? Stocks were just nuking. Opened the weekly down. Our close was ugly, but we were into support, right? So we have support here, right? So we closed hideous, but into support. And then we opened down. So we actually started the week down. And I was like, I'm pretty sure we get some kind of relief bounce, right? And so I was actually looking to position myself in a long on Bitcoin for that reason. And then if you go back to the Bitcoin chart here on the 12-hour, my time frame that I like to trade, you can see that we did close the 12-hour as an SFP. So we had the 12-hour close as the SFP. You can trade that as an SFP. As soon as that candle closes there, you can open that trade with your stop below the wick. First take profit would be this first trouble area, that down candle there. That's a 2-hour trade. Personally, I was trying to get in tighter. So I zoomed in to the hourly, and the mistake that I made was I entered early. So what I should have done is waited for the 12-hour to close. But I was like, this looks like it's gonna close as an SFP. So I started longing here, closed here, longed again on the run through this low into here. And then when we closed these hourly candles below, it was Sunday night. And I'm just like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to try and get in this trade anymore. So I ended up getting stopped out here, had a tight stop, stopped out, woke up to this and the Elon news at the same time. So unfortunately, my long was stopped because I longed early. If I would have waited for that 12-hour to close, I would have had that clear definition of risk. If I would have just waited for this candle to close, which happened right here, I could have gotten in on the hourly on one of these pullbacks or at the latest on this breaker reclaim here and been fine because it was a very clear stop run, H12, SFP, moved up, broke market structure here. I could have got long, or I could have been longing when we started closing back through here. But at the end of the day, what mattered is your risk is now defined here. And I didn't wait. I was impatient. I got a lot of shit going on right now, and I just made a bad trade. I was also a little bit on tilt from my KNC trade. Fucking rode this KNC trade all the way through the short squeeze and all the way back down to break even, only to close for a small win and then it dump much further. So I was kind of frustrated and on tilt about that. And just fucked up, basically. I mean, I didn't fuck up in that, I lost a bunch of money, but I kind of didn't trust my analysis and I didn't wait for the proper setup. So good lesson for y'all, right? I was trying to basically long a sweep of this low or a move down here, expecting some sort of mean reversion. This is the range I was focused on here, right? This low to this high. I said, okay, we're all the way at the range low. What do we like to do at the range low? We like to trade it back into mid-range or higher. We have to be long biased at the range low. It doesn't mean it's going to bounce, but if you're looking for a long within this range, I want to be looking for that long in the lower part of that range because that's when price is at a discount, right? Whereas if what I think is going to happen, I do think that we probably do something like this. Well, where's this short setup going to form? It's going to form in the upper part of the range when price is at a premium, right? So I had my checklist of things I want to see before I enter a trade, and unfortunately, I didn't follow it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Basically, that's the very simple view I have for Bitcoin right now. I'm still bearish. I don't think the Twitter news is a reason to get bullish and think we're going to new all-time high all of a sudden, right? I think if you want to get really bullish on Bitcoin, we have to get back above this high. I think there's a couple key levels that you can look at here. The first level is going to be this bearish order block, which formed that top, which sent us down. The second area is going to be this kind of 47, 48K zone that basically topped price out, multiple times here, 46 through 47K. Above there, sure, get super bullish, but I would be very surprised if we break this. And if we do, very simple, right? So you could start shorting now, but you could also wait for some weakness to form on the lower time frame, something like that. But I do still feel like we end up trading lower. So I'm going to be looking for shorts from basically where we're at now, about 4,600 up to about 42K. Then there's some sort of weakness that forms in here, some sort of sweep or whatever. I'm going to get into a short, or at least try to, because I do think we are still going to go to that 36, 37K area. I'm still pretty confident that we run these lows here. So if I can get a short from 41 to 42 and ride that down to like 36, 37, I'll be happy. After running these lows between 35 and 37, I think that's a more convincing area for a potential higher low for a larger bounce to form to play out. So that's the short side that I'm looking at right now. Some sort of move up from here, weakness, and then roll over. If you want to start scaling in now, by all means, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to be looking a little bit from here and a little bit higher, and I'm going to be looking for some low time frame weakness to get me involved, right? So what do I mean by that? Up into here, right? Zoom in. Okay, what do we have here? Well, we have these highs here. We did already close as an SFP here, but maybe we run these highs. Maybe we fill in some of this down only price action. If you go on the 4 hour, this is a fair value gap right here from here to here, right? So maybe we come in and we fill in some of this, right? And then get some sort of bearish PA like this, something that comes up. Maybe we run the high, break down, whatever. I've taught you guys that pattern so many times. You know what I'm going to be looking for, right? SFPs, bearish market structure, things like that. 3 drives pattern. That's kind of my bread and butter for looking for reversals. So this is the area where I'm going to be looking for that to play out. Like I said, you could start shorting here if you think this is all the juice it has. But I am leaning towards another leg lower to run these lows over here. Will it happen? I don't know. High time frame, right? I still think that this looks like a lower high, and I'd be very surprised if we just, nuke higher from here, but anything could happen. This kind of looks like a bear flag, but I don't really trade those kind of patterns. We got our 35K level from here, so that's going to be that level right below those lows here. I don't know if we come that deep, but if we roll over from here, this is the next target I'm looking for. And now if I go back and I zoom in here, this being our next range. So if we do get a very bullish reaction here, we push up and we push right through 43. This is a long from here to here for me, okay? I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that would be a range in which I would be interested in longing above 43 up to 46, 47. Above 47, really 48 if you wanna be safe, which is this high. Above here, then we can talk about mid 50,000s, 55K plus, which is what we were hoping this initial push was gonna get us to. But the logic is very simple. If we make a higher high above here, well, now I'm looking to long and target in the next resistance area. That would still potentially be a lower high, but if we make a higher high above here, then I'm looking to, right, long and then target the next resistance area, which is up over here. So the long plan, I guess you could say, would be above here into here. That would be a long I'd be interested in taking. I'm not chasing this move here personally. I'm more interested in shorting if we go up any higher. Let's get into Ethereum. So Ethereum played out very similarly to Bitcoin. However, it actually broke market structure to the downside. So you could argue, you could argue that Ethereum is actually more bearish than Bitcoin. You could argue that. One could argue that. So this is the range I'm looking at here on Ethereum, right? Because we broke this low. So while Bitcoin is trading within this range, which would technically be considered a bullish range, because it broke market structure here, it made a high, that's the low that generated the high. This is technically a bullish range. Ethereum is in a bearish range because we broke the low here. So I'm actually looking at Ethereum the same way as Bitcoin, and I'm looking for a move up here to potentially short back into the range. Where do we want to short price? The upper part of the range. Where does that start? The 6.2 to the 7.9. You could start a shorting Ethereum here, and I'd be willing to short Ethereum up towards 3,100, wrong above there. Similar to Bitcoin, the level for me that's key on Ethereum to get above, I think, is around this kind of 3,350 to like 3,400 area, this area here. So we traded above, back below, bearish retest, sold off. So that's the area where we need to get above on Ethereum to start talking about, the $4,000 region again. But for now, I'm looking to short on any sort of strength up towards 3,050 to 3,100. Some sort of move up here, whatever you want to do to get into that short. I'm just squiggling at this point, but you know what I'm looking for up here, guys. SFPs, 3 drives, low time frame shifts in market structure. Bearish would be obviously the trigger. That's what I'd be looking for to happen up in this area here for a move lower. And I think if Bitcoin trades lower, Ethereum trades lower as well. If Bitcoin sells off towards 35 to 37K, I think Ethereum is going back to 2,500 at least. Okay, so that's kind of the range on Ethereum that I'm watching. Move up into here for potentially another leg down. Above 3150, 3150 is a key level for Ethereum. I think we could trade back towards 3,400. So above here, right? Above here. Could take a trade up into here. Same as Bitcoin. Very similar plan as Bitcoin. Another key level that you could mark out on Bitcoin that lines up exactly where we're potentially looking to short is 41,500. If you've been in Discord or if you followed my charts on Twitter, I've had this 41,500 level marked for a while because it's kind of acted as the pivot for this entire move, right? So you look as far back as here. Reaction, 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 broke above, traded up, support, traded up, support, broke below, traded down, deviated above, sold off, deviated above, sold off, reclaim here, move to the upside, got back below, deviated above, sold off. So this is a key SR level just from the eye test. And so this lines up with the levels that we're looking at here, right? The bearish order block, the fair value gap, 41,500 is right in that mix. So if we stay below 41,500, I'm pretty confident that we trade at least back to the range low, if not lower. Same level on Ethereum for me is 3,150, right? Very similar type of level here on Ethereum, in my opinion. Support here, consolidated at this level, popped up, deviated below. Soon as it got back above there, went to all-time high. Consolidate at the level, break down, sell off, resistance, resistance here, right? So very similar to Bitcoin, a key level in my opinion. And that also lines up with where we're potentially looking to short, right? If you add 3,150 in here, it's within that same realm of this bearish order block and all that shit. So that's the plan for Bitcoin and Ethereum, the short scenario that I'm looking for. And then obviously above here, that's a long trigger into here, break down from here, right? So again, long trigger above here into this. If we break down from here, target 1, target 2. Got the Gucci hat on tonight. This guy says the brim of my hat is too long. No one fucking cares what you think, bro. No one cares. I completely agree. I'm in the middle of a hectic evening right now. I fly out to Mexico. I'm going to Mexico for a wedding, so probably not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to be sitting by the pool, getting a sunburn, and drinking Miami Vices. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of a tan. I'm pasty as shit. I am looking a little Mexican with the perf stash right now. I am going to shave my face. Don't worry. I don't want to blend in too much with the locals, you know? You guys hate me or something? I don't care what you guys think about what I think. That didn't sound as smart as I wanted it to. I couldn't agree more. I'm just gonna draw that, and I'll do the same illustration for you fucking smooth brains who need it, for the boys and for the girls. But mostly boys. He says, so handsome and intelligent at the same time. Thank you. I like your comments, bro. Like I said, I'm like Tinkerbell, and I require compliments to keep me going, because if I don't get them, I'll literally die. That just gave me a flashback to the Yu-Gi-Oh days. I'm playing Dark Magician, and he spelled cum C-U-M. That's nasty. Your name is creeping me out. Please don't murder me and then wear my skin as your skin. He doesn't understand why my neck is so much thicker than his. He doesn't fucking get it. It's because I take fucking HGH and I inject it directly into my fucking aorta. That's the secret, guys. Try that at home. I am not liable for any injuries you thin penciled neck fucks may sustain while trying to do so. But if you want to get unchokably large in the neck area, I just gave you the sauce, literally. No, you called me homegirl, man. What the fuck? No, I don't take HGH. That was a joke. How bullish are you? Watch the fucking video, dude. What do you mean? It's 10 o'clock and I haven't packed anything. I still got to do laundry, dishes. Something smells in my fridge, so I'm gonna have to empty that out. See you later. Hasta luego. That's Spanish 101 for you.